Hi, everyone. This brief video is about the assignment Notes to Keep Track of My Learning. If you don't know by now, you will in the next week or two that I am a big believer in taking notes. The act of writing and taking notes is the act of learning. So even if you weren't to use the notes ever again, you would still learn just by the act of taking them. You will deepen your learning that much further, though, if you actually use the notes. All right. So you have this assignment. It's going to be called Unit Notes, and you are going to be taking notes for every single unit, including our orientation. Why the orientation? Well, there are some things that you may want to keep in terms of your notes of things about how the class works, etc. And it is a very short unit, and you were assigned this note-taking assignment at the very end of the short unit. And so you doing this assignment, I'm hoping that when you get started with Unit 1, that you will actually keep this link open here, this tab open, and you start taking notes from the very beginning of the unit, and you take them as you go along so that it is effortless. It is there as a support. And then by the time the assignment is due, it's all ready to go. You won't have to look back at your work to see what you've learned. Another reason that I would like you to take notes, in addition to the learning of just the act of taking notes, is that by organizing your notes for this particular class, what will happen is at the end of the semester, you will be able to look back at your notes and you will see how you're able to make connections between the things that you've learned. You'll be able to synthesize things that you've learned, meaning taking two different things and coming up with a new meaning. And you will also take a final that is going to ask you to reflect on what you've learned in the class, and it will ask for examples of things that you've done. And if you have this note-keeping organizer or digital notebook available and well filled out, it will be much easier for you to complete. So what kinds of things are you going to keep in your note-taking digital notebook, right? Your digital notebook, I like that. It's a place for you to put some new concepts and ideas, vocabulary, things that you've learned, assumptions that might be challenged here. You'll put that there. If there are assignments or websites or videos or anything digital, you'll keep it here. So you will be taking notes for other assignments. For example, you can put it here. You might do an assignment that is on another Google Doc. You can link it here. And I do recommend that you actually write the name of what the item is and then link it here so that you know what you're looking at as opposed to a long URL. Then what you'll do is you'll highlight the phrase, you'll go up to link, and you'll insert the link that you have copied here, and then you'll have it well organized. When you are doing discussion forums and or collaborative text mapping, your peers and yourself, you may say things that are really impressive and thought-provoking, copy and paste and put them here. If it's from a peer of yours, put their name there. Just copy paste, give them a little shout out in your own notes, and you'll have it here as something to remember. And then if you have questions or reminders of things that you want to work on, even though you may not be working on them right this minute, you can. I also want to remind you too, in our class, there are so many wonderful resources in the assignments themselves. And we also have a module dedicated to writing, which has countless, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many linked resources about writing there are that you can include here. So this is going to be an invaluable digital notebook. And at the end of the class, when Canvas is closed and you no longer have access to whatever is in our Canvas class, you'll always have this digital notebook that you can go back and take a look at. And all it is taking up one Google Doc of yours. So This is going to be an amazing thing for you to do. And again, I just want to remind you that this sort of self-reflection, connection making, synthesis making type of graphic organizer, digital notebook is going to be something that's helpful. And you could make a copy also for other classes that you take so that you can keep your notes in order in this online or in-person class. Thank you very much.